Welcome to the game view. This is week 14. I am Sean with Total Packers. This is the game against the Cowboys, a game at home for the Packers. Packers really needed to win, get themselves back on track, winning at home. Something they absolutely had to do. Of course, Mike McCarthy took the reins back on play calling for this game. You will see, not that we didn't see this at times with Tom Clements, because we did, but you'll see pretty much everything but the kitchen sink thrown at the Cowboys in this game offensively. A lot of new wrinkles for the Packers. Dallas, they play a pretty simple defense. And I'm just showing this first play here. This is the Packers' first drive of the game. It's going to be a punt for the Packers. But I'm just showing this play just so you can get an idea. A quick look at what the defense that the Cowboys like to play a lot. They actually play a fair amount of two deep defense, which is something that the Packers haven't seen a lot. A lot of teams have been crowding the line of scrimmage against the Packers. Of course, that's really has been the defense du jour that has been working against the Packers. But the Cowboys, they're a pretty good defensive team this year. They came into to this game ranked sixth defensively in the league, and so they're not going to radically change things up and do things a lot different. They pretty much stuck with what they play. So they play a fair amount of two deep, but you see on this play that when they feel like they're going to need some help stopping the run, this is actually the Packers' fourth straight run in this game. You see what they do is right at the snap, and this is something that the Chicago Bears used to do a lot, so the Packers certainly are familiar with it, is they actually right at the snap, they're going to switch into a three deep zone. This safety is going to rush up to support the run or to take this flat if need be, while the two outside corners and this safety basically take deep thirds. You can see here how the corners are backing off. Their primary responsibility is the deep zone. Make sure that their guys don't get behind them. He's switching to deep middle of the field while this safety is coming up. And this is going to be a handoff to Lacey, and it's going to get some pretty decent blocking there and just a little 4-yard gain there for Eddie Lacy on that run. Okay, and this brings us to the first third down of the game for the Packers. This is right after that. It's 3rd and 3. You can see here that the Packers are kind of in hurry-up mode, so they kept the same formation, same players on the field. But yet they go to a 5 wide out, so they kind of tried to show Dallas something different here. They went to a 5 wide, even though they kept the same guys on the field, which means they just have their 3 starting receivers. They put them all to the same side here, and then they put Eddie Lacy and John Kuhn actually up top. They're perhaps hoping to catch Dallas a little surprise and get them in a mismatch. Maybe Dallas would leave one of their corners out here and get a mismatch on one of their receivers. But that didn't happen. Dallas was ready for it. They actually put all 3 of their corners to this side. So they got the 3 guys that they want in coverage. They put Sean Lee, their linebacker, on Lacey, and they put their safety ahead on Kuhn. On this play here, the coverage is pretty good. Aaron Rodgers is just going to try to force it in on a quick slant to James Jones, and that's going to be knocked down. That's actually Dallas's best corner, Brandon Carr. So that's not really the matchup the Packers wanted to go after there, and Brandon Carr is going to make a good play there and knock that down. You can see John Kuhn was pretty wide open on this play. However, are you really going to trust throwing the ball to John Kuhn on 3rd and 3? I guess in this instance, you probably should have. But I'm not going to fault Aaron Rodgers on this one. I've harassed him a lot for hanging on to the ball and not being willing to throw the ball into tight situations. This is one here where he put it where he needed to. The receiver simply, James Jones needs to do a little better on that route, get open and get that ball. He wasn't able to do it. That's a win for Brandon Carr, and that's just a good defensive play there. Okay, not a good start for the Packer defense after the offense punted the ball. This is only the 3rd play of the game for the Dallas offense, and it's going to be a 50-yard run for Darren Mcfadden. On this play, we're going to see the Dallas offensive line, which is very good, get out on the Packer linebackers, which they did a lot in this game, and found a crease for Darren Mcfadden, who makes a little cutback, and this turns into a big run when my man Clinton Dix actually just lets Mcfadden run right by him, and this ends up being a big run. So you can see here the Packer linebackers, Jake Ryan, Clay Matthews, they're being aggressive. They're jumping on this, getting out there, just like you normally see Clay Matthews do. However, it is Clay Matthews actually running out here on the edge that is going to force Mcfadden to decide to cut this back. and he makes a very good cut right here, as you can kind of see a little hole right there. Jake Ryan is in place. Unfortunately, he's about to be picked up by another lineman that's going to block him off. However, that is going to leave Clinton Dix here unblocked, and if he can make a tackle here, this should only be about a 4 or 5 yard gain. Instead, McFadden just runs right by Clinton Dix. Neither him nor Julius Peppers do anything to slow McFadden down, and now this is off to the races. Good job of Micah Hyde to get the angle, and then good pursuit by to keep going and make sure that gets out of bounds. All right, this is 2nd and goal for the Packers here. This is one of those plays that kind of put Mike McCarthy's stamp on this game. This is a play that the Packers absolutely never run. This is going to be a keeper for Aaron Rodgers. He's going to fake the handoff and actually take the naked bootleg to the outside to the right, looking for the pylon. Even though this is a play of the Packers, boy, they can't win for trying. This is a play that even though they never do, and if you scout the Packers and you watch film on them, this should catch you by surprise. But unfortunately for the Packers, it does not catch Dallas by surprise. Dallas actually everybody holds their lanes, and Brandon Carr, who's got outside edge responsibility here, keeps the edge and makes a very good play, gets out on Rodgers, and Rodgers is lucky to even be able to throw that away to stop it from being a 5-yard loss. All right, this is the Packers' first touchdown of the game. This is another one of those inventive plays, new plays that kind of put McCarthy's stamp on this game. Here, once again, they have John Kuhn split out wide. Defender is way off of Kuhn. I guess they're not too concerned with him being thrown the ball. This is actually going to be a fake handoff to Randall Cobb with him going left. Dallas does not especially show Cobb a lot of attention. It's not that they really get burned by Cobb in this case. It's just that Starks gets out to the outside so quickly that Sean Lee, who's a very good linebacker and fast, but he's one-on-one with Starks here, and he just reacts too slowly. As you can see, Starks is already heading for the sideline. Lee is still straight up here, perhaps staying put just in case Cobb does get the handoff. And this is going to give Starks a lead to the sideline that none of the Dallas defenders can get anywhere close to him. And that is an easy touchdown for the Packers. A really inventive call there. Good call leads to a pretty easy touchdown. Okay, this is the Packers' second touchdown. This is the score that would put them ahead 14-0, which would be the score at halftime. This is shortly before halftime. This is a second down play. Nothing too inventive here. This is essentially, every other team in the league does this play. It's going to be a fake handoff to Eddie Lacy with Kuhn leading the way. The Cowboys bite hard on that. They have everybody flowing towards Lacy. As hard as Eddie Lacy was running in this game and he was breaking a lot of tackles, the Cowboys knew very well that they needed to get multiple hats on him. You didn't want just one guy trying to tackle him, so they really, 3 or 4 guys all bite, flowing. You can see the whole, a wall of 4 Cowboys flowing here to Eddie Lacy. That lets Richard Rodgers pretty easily slip behind the defense, and only this pass being a little bit behind Rodgers makes this even close. Otherwise, that's pretty much just a wide open, easy touchdown for the Packers, and makes it 14-0. All right, this is Dallas's touchdown. Their only touchdown in the game. This would make the game 14-7 in the third quarter and make things interesting for a little while. This is an easy touchdown drive here for the Cowboys. It just consisted of 4 runs. They went 80 yards in 4 runs. This is the last one. This is just as easy or easier than the other ones. Pretty easy walk-in touchdown here for Turbin. On this play, you're basically just going to see the Dallas Cowboys manhandle the Packers up front and just push them aside and make a path. Here you got 2 double teams going on B.J. Raji and Mike Daniels. These are 2 Packers definitely best defensive linemen, and they are facing a tough double team here. With both of these guys being double teamed, it would have helped the Packers to have Matthews and Jake Ryan maybe be a little bit more aggressive and try to get in these holes, get into these gaps immediately. Instead, they kind of hesitate and wait for the running back to come. And we saw this other times in the game too, now by time they're looking to maybe fill a gap, the offensive lineman is going to come off of the double team and wrap them up. Essentially, this lineman just kind of gets a hold on Clay, kind of grabs his shoulder and just holds him there. That's going to get him out of the play. Jake Ryan has committed to this gap, and now he is walled off and easily out of this play, and that is going to lead to a walk walk-in touchdown for Turbin. Okay, this is the Packers answering drive. They kind of need to respond to that touchdown for Dallas and get themselves back control of this game. It wouldn't work. They'd end up punting. Here's 3rd and 5, and if this looks familiar to you, it should. This is the Packers are in the exact same alignment that they were in to start the game, their first 3rd down of the game, the 3rd and 3. Here they have James Starks in the game, so James Starks and John Kuhn are lined up to the top, and the Packers have their three receivers lined up to the left side. Cowboys have answered the exact same way. They have their 3 corners here covering. They have the guys that they want. They have a linebacker and a safety here up top covering up top. And this is a play here where really Rodgers ends up getting sacked on this play, but it's really unfortunate because there are guys open on this play. I think Rodgers was actually looking for Randall Cobb, kind of understandable. Cobb was pretty good this game. But it's too bad because Cobb is doubled, almost triple teamed on this play. Cowboys kind of have him triangulated. Once again, John Kuhn has a possibility on an in route. If you wanted to rely on that, you probably don't. But otherwise, where Rodgers should be looking here is actually Davante Adams. Davante Adams has a big play and possibly a touchdown on this play. Nice little separation there for Adams. He's got a step and a half on Brandon Carr. And this could very well be a big play here if Rodgers would have tried throwing that ball to Adams. Fortunately, he was looking for Cobb. He held it. And then T.J. Lane lost his block, and this ended up being a series-ending sack for the Cowboys. This is 3rd and 10 for the Cowboys, which is a terrible situation for them. They were no good at picking up long distances in this game. Packers weren't any good at doing it either, but the Cowboys were especially bad. The Packers played a fair amount of two-deep defense in this game. I haven't seen a lot of that, but the Packers did play a lot of it in this game. And here's another instance of it. The Packers are playing their DBs tight at the line of scrimmage, and then with the 2 safeties playing 2 deep back. I actually like this. I like this coverage. I've been endorsing this coverage. I think we get a little too complicated at times and should just keep it simple. As you can see when we play this coverage, the coverage is very good. I mean, everybody's covered. Pass rush isn't great, but doesn't matter. Now the pocket finally kind of closes on Castle. He's looking to get out of the pocket. And then he tries to deliver this to Witten, but it's another good play by Micah Hyde, who was with Witten the whole time, and he trips Witten up short of the first down, and Dallas has to punt again. Also on this play, as we just back it up real quickly here, Morgan Burnett, who is playing in the deep zone here. It's actually a good play by Burnett to really get up, come running up. Here he comes, sees Castle run out, he comes flying up and forces that pass. So good play by Burnett to get on that and jump on Castle quickly. Okay, you almost could consider this the turning point in the game, or at least a crucial play that's probably not talked about a lot. There's just over 10 minutes left to go in the game, still 14-7. It's a tight game. The Cowboys have had a couple chances at this point to tie the game, and they've had to punt each time. Packers have been punting ever since halftime. However, on this drive, they finally get it going, and this is kind of the play that kind of jumpstarts you. Once in a while, you just need to pick up that first down to get going. And this is another 3rd and short for the Packers. It's 3rd and about a yard and a half here. And this time they run it, and they do manage to get it as James Starks breaks it off the right side for about 10 yards. You can see the blocking is straight ahead. It's very nice wall being created here by Lang, but good job by Adams to come down and kind of seal off that linebacker here. Starks hits the hole, hits it quick, gets through there, and yes, that is a nice 11-yard run for James Starks to give the Packers a new set of downs. Okay, this is the backbreaker of the game for the Cowboys. They've played pretty good defense this whole game, and yet, as good a defense as they played, they give up a play here they absolutely cannot afford to give up. Terrible play here by them. It's 2nd and 25 for the Packers. Shouldn't surprise anybody that considering the down and distance, and especially considering where the Packers are in the field, which is the 30-yard line with the rain coming down, they're just barely in field goal range at this point. Don't really want to be kicking a 47, 48-yard field goal in these conditions. So it shouldn't surprise the Cowboys at all that the Packers would choose to go conservative and run the ball here. The Packers do, no surprise, they just run a little inside draw to James Starks, but yet the Cowboys, They actually blitzed off the corner, which didn't help. They blitzed out of the slot that took this guy out of the play. Good job by J.C. Treader to get this seal here. Starks is going to kind of see Dallas flow a little too hard in this direction. Richard Rodgers is going to block Sean Lee here, get enough of him so that he won't be in the play. There's the cut by Starks, so that absolutely makes this play. And then, of course, the block downfield by Randall Cobb. Starks is just going to work off of that, runs right at it, now cuts to the inside. Bad angle, bad play by Church here. Otherwise, could have at least stopped it from not being a touchdown. So here's the other view of it. The quick cut right there by Starks works off bad angle by Church, ends up being a 30-yard backbreak touchdown for James Starks. And that makes it 21-7. Just about puts the game out of reach at the 4:40 mark. Okay, this is the final punch in the mouth for the Cowboys. Eddie Lacy's going to just be running a roughshod over them at this point. This is obviously this is under the 3-minute mark. Cowboys are using their last timeouts. They only have one left. They know the game's about over at this point. Can't expect their offense to do much. Offense just didn't do anything in this game that give them any kind of chance. And yeah, the defense, it's an undersized defense, so eventually it's going to tire out. That happened here. It's happened in other games for the Cowboys. Happened again here, and Eddie Lacy's the beneficiary. He's basically just running people over and ragdolling fools at this point. This could be great blocking here. TJ Lang, JC Treader forming the wall. Eddie's going to run hard to the gap here. Then once he's got that kind of speed heading downfield, he's just going to carry guys with him to the end zone. He would be marked just short there properly by the ref. Just mark him down just short. However, it's not going to matter. Lacy's going to score the next play, and that's going to make it a 28-7 victory for the Packers in a game they absolutely needed to win, needed to show their dominance once again at home. Shoddy passing offense again for the Packers. Not a lot going on there, but the running game looked better. Randall Cobb had a good game. And so Aaron Rodgers, this game and the Lions game has shown a little bit of improvement. He's played a little better. And so if the Packers can just get a little bit more out of the receiving core and get Aaron Rodgers to keep ascending, keep giving the ball to Eddie Lacy, keep throwing the ball in the short screen game to Lacy and the Starks, they can get their offense going. They're playing pretty good defense right now, and they just got to concentrate on getting better and keep playing better as the playoffs approach.